Welcome to my review of the Razer Basilisk X Hyperspeed. The Hyperspeed is quite controversial in its looks, as it's got an ergo shape with many hard edges and curves. It's also one of Razer's cheapest wireless offerings, capable of Bluetooth or Razer's Hyperspeed USB connection. So let's explore if the Basilisk X Hyperspeed is the right mouse for you. Inside the box, you have the mouse, quick start guide, a thank you note, single AA battery, as well as two bright green Razer stickers. Moving on to the mouse itself, it's shaped very similarly to the G602 from Logitech, where you have this extra support for your thumb. It's a right-handed mouse with the side buttons present on the left-hand side. Oddly, I appreciate the looks of this mouse more so in person than from pictures, as you can really appreciate the deep curvatures that this mouse has. And I'm also a fan of the more muted Razer logo ingrained into the removable panel. This panel is held to the body using 3 magnets and is secure enough where it won't fall even if you shake it violently. Underneath that panel is space for a single AA battery, as well as a slot for the USB dongle. On the bottom of the mouse, you will find 4 feet that surround the top, bottom, and the thumb side of the mouse. There are no feet surrounding the sensors, nor the opposite side of the thumb, but I didn't notice any issues in terms of gliding, both when flicking left or right. Now in terms of build quality, the Hyperspeed feels very solid in the hands, with no noticeable flex to the body when squeezed. The materials used for the top is a matte hard plastic that is relatively fingerprint resistant and overall felt quite comfortable in the hands. The sides of the mouse are covered in a firm textured rubber. The texture makes it relatively grippy, and I think the toughness of the rubber will make it hard wearing as well. There's very little pre and post travel on the left and right mouse clicks, but I did notice that the scroll wheel could be forcefully moved right, which somehow activated the middle mouse click. The scroll wheel itself, however, felt very satisfying, as you could distinctively feel the individual steps as you rotated the wheel. Easily one of my favorite parts of this mouse. The DPI button also seems to be quite secure, so you won't accidentally activate it while scrolling. The 2 side buttons are nicely located, and both have a little bit of pre-travel, but nothing too concerning. The left and right clicks on the Hyperspeed don't utilize Razer's optical switches, but instead rely on a more conventional mechanical setup. They are rated for 50 million clicks and have a very tactile and satisfying click. The Basilisk X weighs in at 108 grams with the battery inside. By no means a light mouse, but it didn't really affect me as I don't really play games that require super snappy mouse flicks. The extra weight was actually quite reassuring when I was video editing, as it felt more secure in my hands. But if you play a lot of fast-paced games, the weight is definitely something that might put you off. The sensor that Razer uses isn't their top-of-the-line 20,000 dpi optical sensor, but the 16K dpi version. To be honest, I found that it was very accurate, and I didn't notice any differences in accuracy compared to my wired mouse or more expensive wireless mouse. The DPI button has a small indicator which flashes when trying to pair over Bluetooth. However, that is as much light as you will get with the Hyperspeed. There's no fancy RGB lighting, but that benefits battery life and also fits the more muted design of this mouse. In my week's worth of testing the Hyperspeed, my main focus has been on video editing using Bluetooth connection. The Hyperspeed still shows that it has around 90% of charge, even with an average of 6 to 7 hours of usage per day. Razer claims that the Hyperspeed should last up to 450 hours via Bluetooth and 285 hours with the USB dongle. When paired over Bluetooth, there's a small difference in responsiveness between using the Hyperspeed wireless connection, but to be perfectly honest, the differences aren't really noticeable outside of gaming. The mouse has a built-in sleep timer, which you can customize from 1 to 15 minutes. Razer's Synapse also lets you do the usual customizations of macros or DPI changes. Changes are saved to the mouse itself, so you can use it on your other devices with the same settings. Finally, let's talk about my favorite part of the Basilisk, the ergonomics. The Basilisk is a very comfortable mouse. With my medium-sized hands, the thumb rest felt very comfortable, and with my natural palm grip, I was very quickly in tune with the mouse. If you're looking for a mouse to do long editing sessions, or just a more supportive mouse to play slower paced games, the Hyperspeed, in my opinion, is a great mouse for those situations. Now, to condense my thoughts on the Basilisk X Hyperspeed, definitely this was one of the few products that exceeded my expectations. Honestly, it's a super comfortable mouse. For the size of my hands, it's quite a perfect fit, and I really enjoy using it for work. Removable batteries is also a great thing, as you don't have to worry about them degrading over time. I'm still not keen on the aesthetics, but to be honest, who really looks at their mouse while using it? So instead of recommending this mouse solely towards gamers, I would say this mouse is better suited for productivity that's also capable of being enjoyed when gaming from time to time.